How did I do this before? Pin comment. There we go. Hi, honey. Sammy Streeter, Kaylee Allen. Look at all these people. How are y'all doing tonight? Gotta love when the person who is doing the interview tomorrow is here early before the person who's being interviewed tonight. Craziness. See, I did talk to Nicole. She is currently driving home from Devil's Grove because she played around today. So Lurchy is driving her home. And yeah, I'm kind of all set with that idea of snow tomorrow. Really all set with that. But it is what it is. This is really a flattering camera angle of me. Just look at my nose. I'll be making sure to cut that out of the final take. There's Nicole. You joined. Go live with Nicole Russell. Hey, Mike. Yeah! Hello, the star of the film. Right.
I just finished playing around in disc golf, so we're in the car on our way home for like the next 8 minutes.
8 minutes of quality driving time. So, how was your round? Well, I guess we'll start with that.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You're
Nicole.
Be good now. On top of the hill.
there we go. I think you might be good now. I don't know what you said.
Okay. I said, why don't we start with, well, how did your round go?
It was okay. We played a little bit of dubs. Maine is in a unique situation right now where you can only play within your county. Fortunately, we live in Androscoggin County where there are a lot of disc golf courses. So we played some dubs with our friends JT and Allie over at Devil's Grove, and JT and I shot 10 down on the Devil. It's smooth 44.
Not bad. Not bad. Awesome. So, yeah. So, why don't you talk a little bit more? I mean, introduce yourself, where you're from, how long you've been playing, all that sort of jazz.
Sure. I'm Nicole Russell, PDGA number 88131. I live in Lewiston, Maine. My boyfriend, Lurch.
Hey, bud, I'm driving.
And I just bought a house there in September. As I said, it's in Androscoggin County, so there are a lot of disc golf courses super close by. Lewiston was just voted the #1 disc golf area in the country.
I don't doubt it. Having gone up there and knowing all the things that are right there.
Yeah, there are a lot of awesome courses that are all privately owned, all within like 30 miles of each other, which is awesome. I have been playing disc golf casually for a really long time. I discovered it at my freshman orientation in college in 2006, and played really casually for a long time, and then started playing tournaments in 2016 in FA2 for one tournament, and then for FA1 for a bunch, and then FPO after that. I've been playing FPO for the last, I think this would be my 3rd tournament season playing FPO, I think.
Awesome. And you've been with the street team for how many years?
This is my 2nd year on the street.
Awesome. So, Maine has an incredible disc golf scene.
Yes, it does.
Having been up there a number of times, Maine is awesome. Courses are beautiful. But talk more about sort of, there's 2 tours that go on in Maine, correct? Yeah. Or is there more? Well, why don't you give people sort of the backdrop of what, like, Maine...
There are a lot. So there are, obviously, we have a ton of PDGA events, especially, well, not so much, obviously, right now because everything's shut down, but our Mr. Maine Disc Golf, Jamie White, puts on a ton of PDGA, mostly B tiers, a couple of A tiers, and
Silver
then...
event.
What?
Silver event.
Oh, yeah. What? I don't know what... Oh, yeah. The Maine State Championships this year was supposed to be a, silver, tour,
DGPT event, yeah.
Yeah, which would have been super cool. I don't really know what the status of any of that is, but, and then we have the Maine Players Tour, the MPT, that's been going on for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is, they're unsanctioned events that take place all throughout the state of Maine. There are probably 12 stops throughout the summer usually, and in order to qualify for finals, you need to play 5 of those events. And they are all divisions, all age levels. It's super reasonable to play. Their cash payouts for AMs is a thing that people care about, I guess. But that's super cool, and it's just a huge camaraderie of the Maine disc golf scene. There's camping and hanging out and barbecue, and just it's a really fun time. And then it's a really it's a nice change of pace from the PDGA because it's a really casual scene. And then there's the Maine Disc Golf Tour, which is run by Chris Goslin. He recently, unfortunately, announced that he was canceling all of his events for the season for the time being.
Really?
Yeah, they were supposed to have their season opener 2 weeks ago or something, and he's postponed everything indefinitely.
Oh boy.
But that's been going on for 3 or 4, 4 years, I think. And also cash payouts for AMs, except he recently started sanctioning them as C tiers, kind of like the New Hampshire Live Free and Drive Tour.
Yeah.
So no cash payouts in that instance, but it appeals to people because they like to play sanctioned events. And then Maine just started last summer the Goats Tour, which is only for people who are 40. They're all Masters players, and they had huge turnouts at every single one of their events last year, and a huge finals. And it was really fun. And they do Raz rounds and caddy only Ring of Fires and stuff like that. So it's really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Masters players know what's up.
So there are a lot of very talented women up in Maine, and there's a good amount of you too. Talk a little bit about the women's scene and what's going on for you guys up there.
The women's scene in Maine, I think, it's very big. There are a ton of AM players playing FPO. There's normally maybe 5 or 6 of us, which is pretty good. It's myself, Allie Haggett, Jess Beckett, Pickle, Allison Burns, and then occasionally some other stragglers here and there. But that's a pretty good, you can bet on those in playing FPO for almost every tournament, which is really nice. And then the women's scene started to get big here. They were doing women's leagues at a few courses, Sierra Farm and BSR, probably 3 years ago-ish. And it was drawing a lot of AM women out, and now there's tons who play. I would say I admittedly am not as involved with the women's scene as I maybe should be. But I did just receive, I'll show it to you when we get out of the car. There is, Corinne Kablinski runs a women's tag league that's just women's only tags throughout the state, and they're played for at almost every tournament you play all season. Mine just came in the mail yesterday. I have the number 1 tag from last year, and I just received the number 9 in the mail So looking for a little bit more competitive stuff as things reopen. That's for you. But yeah, no, so the women's, but we have tons of AM women. There's usually, I don't know, 10 or, I don't know, there's a lot. We have a ton of, we have a huge FA1 field.
That's awesome, and they'll eventually all be moving up, and it'll be a really big and competitive FPO field.
Yeah.
What sort of looking at how like the Pro Tour has started to switch things around? Like, where do you sort of see the women's scene in general at right now, and where do you want to see it go?
I think the women's scene is definitely moving in. It's getting big. It's nice. I mean, you've seen the percentage of female PDGA members grow every year since I've been playing. See women playing just insanely competitive disc golf. It's really fun. Sorry, I'm walking upstairs so I can. Not yet. So yeah, no, I want to see it grow. It's super exciting. They're taking they're taking a look and they're taking stock of what female disc golfers really want, and whether that's, I like that people are asking questions, I guess, like, do women want their own tee pads? Do they want alternate tournament layouts? Should we be even really limiting the number of women that are playing? Because they're I'm of a stance that right now, if more women want to play, like, please allow them, like, give them those spots. I think it's really important. So no, I'm excited, and I'm super bummed because I myself had planned on playing some more larger events this year, starting really early, and it's all kind of been cast aside for the time being.
Yeah, so, things are starting to open back up in Maine, and I guess, like, with all those tours you have that aren't necessarily sanctioned, you probably are going to have a jump start on tournaments before a lot of the rest of the country will, and you'll probably have a lot more selection of those. What do you think your tournament season is going to look like, whatever that might be? What's your plans?
I honestly don't know if I have a plan right now. Sorry about my aggressively yellow room.
That's okay. That's a perfect lead into my next question, so it works out well.
Oh, good. Yeah, this room was this color when we bought our house. One of my clients told me. Yeah. So,
what plans do you have, or is it just sort of touch and go, playing it by ear at this point?
Ideally, we're hoping, Lurch and I are, so the MPT is entirely volunteer run. And in such case, Lurch and I volunteer to run 2 or 3 events every year. And the first one that we were supposed to run is at Troll Valley in a couple weekends. So with any luck, that would still happen. I'm not sure what that might look like. It's really hard because I'm like, I don't know what my tournament season is going to look like. I've withdrawn from the Vineyard Social and Welcome to the Jungle and like all of those things that I'd really planned on playing. And with any luck, I think we'll get to play some more like just casual events. I think maybe the MPT will be able to figure out a way to do either trickle starts or something like that, and just really limit the amount of congregating and people that are sticking around, which is kind of, I guess, a catch-22 because the whole point of events like that is for you to be hanging around and having a good time, and really socializing with, ideally, the people you haven't really seen all winter. You start the season, and the NPT opener is usually a huge event, and it was really like upsetting for a lot of people that those things aren't happening right now.
Yeah. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world that we live in.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So this is sort of my $1 million question here. Oh boy. One of my favorite little things about you as a disc golfer that goes perfectly with your violently yellow robe is that you have an affinity for the ugliest discs that you can possibly find. Like when I found that X3 in my collection, I knew exactly who needed to have it. So my homework that I gave Nicole was to pick her top 5 ugliest discs to show off to everybody. So this should be like prime viewership right here.
yeah, I actually had a hard time with this because I was, I have a lot of discs that are not exceptionally highly sought after because of their color, but also I had a hard time thinking like, is like ugly or like hard to find ugly, because in addition, like they kind of go hand in hand, but I do have okay. The first one, actually, Alex, you probably gave me the ugliest disc I own.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll start with this.
Is that the tobacco spittle? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Tobacco Spittle X3 with a teal blue stamp.
It's atrocious.
It's really, really not pretty. I like it. But the next one is this. I recently sold all of my Prodigy Air Plastic except for this one disc. This is a Prodigy D1 Air. It used to be earth colored. You can kind of see the remnants of its old color on the inside.
Yeah.
It was so aggressively brown and tan that I asked a buddy to dye it for me, and it just came out looking kind of even more disgusting than it already did. Yeah, the dye job wasn't as helpful as I thought it was going to be.
No.
This one, I have a couple. I made a small pile because I was curious. This disc is from a tournament that Jamie White, I think it was like the BSR Summer Opener a couple years ago, sponsored by Prodigy. This is a 400 PA3 with Bob on it. But if you'll notice,
BSR Bob.
Yeah, the course with the cat, Bittersweet Ridge in North Yarmouth. So Bob is lovely, but this disc is brown.
It's a nice mix between coffee and baby shit.
Yeah, but I chose it because it was brown and it was the only one in the lot. Lurch is over
A mix between coffee and baby shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of aggressively ugly, can we see those pants again?
Lurch's PBR shorts.
Oh, those are the PBR shorts?
These are shorts.
Do I need to model them for you?
Which, to most human beings, those are real pants. For him, they're short.
My mom got him those shorts for Christmas.
Unreal.
Yeah. The next one, this one is commemorative from the first tournament I ever ran in 2018. It was the Children's Miracle Network. It's a fundraiser, a super fun fundraiser event that benefits the Children's Miracle Network in Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. But I chose this one as mine to keep. It is the camera really doesn't do them justice. It's like, this is like gross green with a rainbow stamp though. But it made me happy. Then I put this one in the mix. I don't actually think this one is ugly, but I know that you do.
Okay.
This is a D2 Max.
Oh God, that one. Oh.
Yeah, and it's like this really disgusting green, streaks. But it's got reddish brown streaks all through it that you can't really see.
I am so glad that 2 of your ugliest discs came from me.
Yeah. So again, this one doesn't really strike me as super ugly, but It does. And then this one, I don't consider it ugly, but I do consider it extremely hard to find. And it's like one of my go-to discs in my bag. It's a Jomez Pro Spectrum M4. And it's like a lightish pink and just like tan. And I love it, but it's like impossibly difficult to find after you throw it. So those are my top ugly discs. There are plenty more over here.
So I want to know more about this Children's Miracle Network stuff, because not only is running tournaments awesome, but especially ones that benefit children. I mean, I have a bleeding heart for all things children, so yeah. I want to definitely hear more about that.
Sure. So the Children's Miracle Network is an event, or it takes place at Bittersweet Ridge in North Yarmouth, the course with the cat. And it started long before I was playing disc golf. A guy named Adam Doobie was running it for a long time, and then I took it over with a couple of other people a few years ago. This would be our third year. So, yeah. And actually, last year it used to be an event that took place in July-ish, but we've since moved it to October to kind of coincide with Lurch's charity event, Lurchtoberfest, which is a charity birthday bash.
I really hope that happens this year.
Me too. It's in October.
You better be staying at my house for that.
But that's my hope.
But yeah, it's last year it was. Did we do singles or doubles last year, or both?
Both.
We did both.
Singles for trophies, doubles for cash.
Yeah. So it was a singles event in the morning, and all of your entry fees go to benefit the Children's Miracle Network at Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. We work with an awesome philanthropist over there. Her name is Kate Richardson. And she's just super awesome. She's like, whatever you guys need to do to raise money, have at it. We raised over $3,000 last year, and close to that the year before. Maine Disc Golf is good at raising money for charity, and we received donations from a bunch of brewers and local vendors, and Lurch is very distracting. It's a doubles event in the morning, singles in the afternoon, with a huge raffle table, baked goods, local beer donations available for donation, good food.
That's awesome.
Like, everything is wonderful. It's a ton of fun, but pretty casual. And at the end of the day, people are really, motivated to donate money, and it's nice.
That's awesome. I really hope that I'm able to get up there for Lurchtoberfest if it happens. I'm hoping that there's none of this rebound stuff that's being talked about, so we can all enjoy disc golf. And I mean, is Maine still doing 14-day quarantine for out-of-state people?
Yeah. So if you come from out of state, it's a 14-day quarantine. And then after that, I'm not really sure what happens. I guess you just kind of abide by the current state of things, which is gatherings of no more than 50-ish people. No, it's less than that. Right now, we are able to play disc golf. Courses just reopened 2 weekends ago. 2 weekends ago? Last weekend. I don't even know. Time is not a thing anymore in quarantine.
No, not at all.
But they reopened kind of with a lot of stipulations. You have to have tee times in 15-minute increments in groups of no more than 4. And really, which is good. I mean, we're just happy to be playing. But and we had really hopefully registered for a tournament in New Hampshire, the Yin Yang Open or something at Topo. But we got kicked out because we're not from in-state. So It was worth a try, I guess. We were hopeful for a few days.
Well, yeah, is there anything else you want to, like, plug or say before we end it?
I don't know. Everyone knows I'm sponsored by Prodigy.
Well, that, I mean, you know, if we want to plug something else, the Nicole Russell H4V2 review video is, I think, my second most viewed video on my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, so that's, I think a lot of that has to do with the course as well. And I think you were the first person actually featured on a, okay, Jamie says, were you scared of Jamie beating you playing singles?
Jamie, do you mean me and JT getting beat by you as a doubles team, or just I didn't play singles because I was scared of you beating me? Jamie was on our card playing singles. Oh, he said yes.
Yeah,
no,
okay,
Jamie,
you can see
I'm
the chat. So, okay.
Yeah. No, Jamie, I'm not scared of you and your atrocious haircut.
Oof.
Stab.
There we go. Going after Mr. Main Disc Golf himself.
Yes.
Bold.
He had mentioned that he may come in and troll this video a small bit.
Well, I'm actually very surprised that Lurch has not been more distracting. I was really expecting the plaid banana hammock to just be walking in the background.
Yeah.
I'll go get the speed up.
He says he can go. He's really trying to make this about him. Oh, Jameson's bowl cuts are back in style.
So, just going back real quick to the women's disc golf scene, how do you manage being a part of the women's disc golf scene while being attached to Lurch? Choosing your words very carefully with him in the room.
Maybe you could blush a little more today.
Oh, Jamie says sorry. Carry on. Thanks, Jamie. The Lurch and I actually have a good thing going on in that we both love being really actively involved in disc golf, and we both love being actively involved in tournaments, and have a ton of friends everywhere, and we can kind of show up at a course, and I can go do my thing, and he can go do his thing, and we're playing in different divisions often, and then so like it's nice because we have the same interest, but we show up somewhere, we do our own thing, and then we reconvene later at lunch or to go home or whatever. But we're equally passionate about disc golf. He's literally just sitting right here staring at me while I do this, so it's a lot.
I'll have to do, me and him talked about doing it in the bag for each other, where we just go through each other's bag.
Oh,
I think that would be fun to do. But yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun.
That would be interesting. I don't even. Well, I could do his in the bag. I think it would.
You live with them, so.
I don't have a latitude disc. I don't know what this one does.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it would be interesting. I could do a better job with his in the bag than he would do with mine.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's like, what are all these letters and numbers?
It sounds like a new flu strain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so women's disc golf is good. Like the group of women who play or that I play with at tournaments and casually are a pretty tight-knit group of people. So it's nice to be able to show up and play with them and kind of do our own thing. And then Lurch also plays disc golf. So there's, and we play on the same winter team and all kinds of stuff. So
I wasn't even going to go here because I didn't want to bring up those memories, but, I am hoping that you guys, when finals does happen, that you guys are able to roll up in the C pool and start getting up into the pools you guys belong in. But,
You know that ride home really well?
yeah, that's.
What was that?
Remember that ride home after you and Doug?
I do remember that ride home, unfortunately, but I also seem to remember me and Nicole doing really well playing dubs together as well. And
We did that,
Nicole,
Woody.
Nicole putting like 6 putts from 6.